Good morning. You're watching AssemblyTV Summer 2011. We've just seen the 4K intro competition here at Assembly. I think it was quite interesting. As you'll know, my name is Matthew Wolster, also known as Doc Waffle. Here with me on the sofa I have Waffle and Belgian Waffle, also known as Frankie. How did you guys find the 4K? It was longer than I thought. It was 12 entries or something. Yeah. So, your opinions?
Well, first of all, I am receiving you loud and crackly.
Aha!
Secondly, nice competition.
Yeah.
Some surprises. I love the dancing sausages.
We thought perhaps I've been drinking quite a lot of Mountain Dew here at Assembly.
For you.
I don't know if you kind of sneak drugs into your soft drinks over here, but something was definitely weird with that dancing sausage.
Yeah, well, yes, and that because the entire mathematics were based on a sine wave in the arms, which is
well, yes,
sine wave. It was physics. It was physics. Didn't you see it?
No,
it wasn't sine wave.
Yeah, no, because this is my good and I have a waffle here, so that's.
Okay, sorry. Oh, I was on your way. Yeah.
Yes, hat boy.
Certainly got the biggest reaction from us when we watched it. We were watching it up on the stage, and we were like, "What the hell is going on?" I don't know. Right, we are desperately trying to get ourselves a list of the productions. We're going blind at the moment, but Frankie has got a list of what he thought.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I have a phone, but not a battery, so.
We are doubly screwed.
Yeah, so here we go. So entry number 1, the dancing sausage, and then entry number 2 was the mega demo.
Mega demo.
Now, mega demo, we had quite a bit of words about this because it's very unusual.
Yeah, it was very unusual for a 4K intro to be like an old school mega demo, and especially what I like about it was it was for Mac OS X, and technically it's much harder to make an 4K intro for OS X than for Windows or Linux. Well,
the 4K was written in assembler as well. It wasn't straight in a higher levels language. I can't believe we're calling C higher level language. It traditionally was called that.
It was made by Steve Jobs.
Very much so.
And approved by turtlenecks.
Yeah.
But it was assembled using NASM, so they've obviously got an insight into the operating system, and they did several effects in it. I mean, it was effect after effect after effect. I think there were 5 in total.
Yes.
And for a 4K demo.
But they got one concept wrong.
Go on then.
Which is that in the beginning they started with raster bars, which is C64.
Yeah.
And everything else, the screen and the DYCP scroller, was really the Amiga 500 flying through space Starfield.
Okay,
I'll give you that. People?
I'll give you that. But it at least ended on a half decent plasma. It's text mode plasma.
Yeah, well, I've said it before to your other sexy colleague. That, it's only an old school platform when people yell for plasma.
Okay.
So, well, I didn't yell for Mac OS 6, but anyway, it was a nice plasma.
Yeah. It would be hard when people are shouting Amiga, but
there's
what
nothing wrong with
after 20 years you will shout like OS X. That doesn't sound good.
No.
OS 10, I think the Mac purists prefer.
Yeah, like leopard.
Steve Jobs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, have my liver.
Yeah, and my kidney.
So if we look over the list, there were quite a few of those that were what I would call one-trick ponies.
Yeah, indeed. Well, actually, half of them were just one effect in one way or the other looped.
Different camera views and whatever.
Yeah, if that much. I've seen the one with the colorful balls, which was actual colors. It was one point of view, and it was such a bad camera angle that you couldn't see the height of the balls bouncing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the balls were touching.
Yes, and they were like leaving skid marks behind.
Yeah.
So that's like epic sliding action.
That's such a get, dear me. So if we carry on, I'm going to have to mention what was possibly the most humorous one, the coda porn.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
that was sexy.
It's indeed sexy. It is pure coda porn, but it is the most epic one-trick ponies, of which Steve Jobs and Pixar will say, "Whoa."
But I thought for a 4K, I mean, it's obviously been done with GL shader language or something. The cloth, in particular, I thought was a pretty good effect for a 4K.
It was a pretty good effect, but it would have been nice to have like a rotating ventilator around her.
Okay.
You could see where the wind is coming from, or like let's say truck farting and then going around.
So we're probably going to see next year Coda Porn 2 Deep Throat or something.
Probably yes.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, that was
Yeah.
a sequel because a few years ago there was a entry called Stiletto, which has the
Yes.
stiletto heels.
Mm.
So the third sequel must be Deep Throat.
Yes, with real-time fluid calculation.
Decadence does Dallas or something.
Yes, Navier-Stokes effect at its best.
Dear me. So
Yeah, you asked for it.
if we think of a few of the other ones, there was the one that comes to mind, even though it wasn't particularly something that's going to be in the top three. It was all called lines or curves or something.
Yeah, yeah.
With a wow.
Yes, the
effect.
Puavo heart.
Proverhard, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, line mania. But actually, the one before that, I think was called
Was it the traction engine?
anglerfish.
That one, cubicle.
With all the sand particles. That's also a one-tick point, but then when compared to the lines, I actually found that one more on the technical level and more entertaining as well.
Brilliant.
Yes, it's the
We-
cubicle entry was amazing. I don't understand why the Puavo heart entry was so high on the scale there, but the cubicle entry and the traction entries were probably the best.
Okay,
in
so
the compound.
we've now got a copy of the list. What I'm going to do is,
Okay.
I believe it was Anglerfish by Cubicle.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I absolutely adored that one.
It was great.
I don't think it was particularly something that if you look at it go, wow, that's amazing 4K, but I think artistically, I think it was possibly one of the best things I've seen this year.
artistically, and also the coder colors was spot on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Best
couldn't
coder
put it any
colors
other way.
ever.
Best coder colors ever. 1111 Amiga 11.
Okay, well, since we've got the list in front of us,
Okay.
and we've got 5 or 10 minutes, look at it, 10 minutes, yeah. If we just go down from the top, we've got, now we do have a Finnish man in presence.
4 kilo sausage, so 4 kilon nakki.
Okay, so we've already seen that. Now, I
It's
asked
very
you earlier
nasty.
who XZM was, and you said it was somebody from Tart.
I think he's a Tart member.
Okay, so Tart and Tart, double Tart.
Yes.
Okay. Megadome we've already discussed. Colours by Lucid. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was about.
What the bouncy balls with the one camera angle?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Right,
oh.
that's it. Okay.
Yes, the balls
Dirty
were
Garden
touching.
by Failure. Now, this is one that
Yeah, it's.
it went on a bit long.
Yes, it went on a bit long, but then it's. I found it positive that it's a BSD and an open gel and it's working.
Yes.
It's
Which
working.
is,
Yes.
which is not easy to do outside of the coder machine if you're using a
but-
BSD style thing.
But note that it was probably the coder's machine, so it's probably not working in any other machine after that.
But was it just me, or did anybody else think the resolution was a bit low? It almost looked like it had been rendered into a 320 by 240 frame or something.
I wasn't close enough to the big screen to tell that. Sorry.
Okay, but neither were we, but
Yeah.
maybe it's just my eyesight. I don't
You know that the hull is pretty high when you're sitting on top.
Daydream by Blob Trucks. Blob Trucks or Blob Tracks? Blob Trucks. Any particular thoughts?
Yeah. I want know those were the procedural sea creatures,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
the wavy bits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing special.
No. Okay. Sorry. Meh.
Yeah.
Sorry, meh.
Meh.
Mm.
Meh.
Sounds like jury feedback to me. Everybody just writes one line. Invaders by Pasic.
Basic was very basic. I would say that.
I wouldn't know. Mutant red blobs from outer space is my comment on it. Yeah,
Oh,
because
which one was the one with the that was the corner of the room which when things bounced on it it made things? Was that
I think
colours?
it was the
that was
colors.
colors again.
Right, I got you mixed
That's
up.
the third time that you got that one.
Yeah,
It's my
I think
mind,
it's the
but-
fourth or third time you mentioned it.
Oh, giving undue process
now
to
it's
them.
called Colors by Lucid.
Okay.
The waffle edition.
Yeah.
We have just mentioned Anglerfish, which I am going to say straight out, it's probably against Assembly TV policy, but that is my favourite. If you don't vote for that in your top couple, then you're mad. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
then
just
you deserve punishment with wet balls in your face.
Yeah.
I genuinely think I'm going to be watching that in a couple of years' time and still go, why is nobody beating this?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a blockbuster demo. I just found it beautiful. That's all.
It was very nice and coherent, but also I have to mention about the Cloud Light by Traction. It was I think it was similar style, well, in coder-wise.
Do
And
you
it
know
was
what
very
spoiled
nice.
it? The
Well, what?
last bit. the last bit with the cloud with the where it kept on showing the black behind it and the light source behind it. I thought that spoiled it. A, because it was on for too long, and B, because the cloud didn't look perfect. I know that's really harsh to say.
Perfect for clouds. Oh.
Well, no, because the cloud just suddenly disappeared behind something. It was almost as though it was a layer that was faulty.
It was more like clouds in a ball, not clouds all around.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have like cloud touching balls, and then with a hot light in between.
Oh,
Yes,
I
see.
see.
But if it had exited 20 seconds before, I would have really liked that one. I just thought the
would have
last
still been
effect.
clouds in a ball with like touching balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
but
it
then
was
shorter.
quite nice. Yeah.
Okay.
In the end of the day, if balls are touching, it's always good.
Yes. Because then you can get lightning and electricity.
Yes. And iron and everything.
Okay. I'm going to go down to terraformers by now. It's Digimind, isn't it? In
Digimind and
Digimind and
Silent.
Silent.
Excellent direction, because well, basically the only one with the direction in it with like kind of start of a story and that's going up and down. But in the end, there wasn't any terraforming being done.
No, but I am still astonished that they managed to get that many data points into something. Maybe there's some way of.
Was the Digimon the Russian coder?
My,
I remember
my
some.
Russian is really bad. I have no idea.
But I remember some coder who has done productions and released them to Poet. Like 512 byte intros that were very nice, and I think this is the same guy. But I didn't find that anything special. It was okay. The colors were okay, but
Yeah.
nothing interesting.
The model was okay. I found it a bit harsh when it touched the ground. The camera stopped. The rotation stopped immediately. I thought that was a little harsh.
Yeah.
And then when it burst back out, I thought it was a nice effect with a very complex model. Then they didn't do anything with it. But
Yeah, it went open and closed and it rotated. So
yeah, but that was just kind of a hey, look what I've done.
Yeah, but that's not nothing.
I suppose. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Nothing
yeah.
would be like two balls not really touching.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
was
they
a
call-
helicopter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it sounds like an old West Sector demo.
Yes.
Dear me. So I'm going to unfairly ask you your top two. I don't want you to do top three, and I just accidentally hit my microphone. I apologise. Top two out of the list without choosing. Well, you wouldn't choose it anyway. No, top two. Go for it.
Do you begin?
Should win Anglerfish as my top, and then second one. Sorry for the coder point, but I'm going for Terraformers.
Yeah.
Sorry, which one?
So Terraformers is my second one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So over coder porn, a close third.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're doing top two, so I did mention that.
Okay.
I'd say my
Buff-
first option is Cloudlight and the second option is Anglerfish. Both were very excellent 4Ks.
Now against policy, what's yours?
Against policy, honestly, Anglerfish undoubtedly is going to be my number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I think it's going to be a little controversial, but I'm going to say Mega Demo
That was okay.
because I didn't expect it, and while everybody's going to laugh at me when I say I think that was hard for a 4K because it wasn't overly hard. I mean, it was much harder to do it back on the original platforms in 4K.
Yeah, well, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition either, so.
Absolutely, yeah. We're having a little fun today, aren't we?
Yeah, we have.
Now, we've got about a few minutes left, so I'm going to now ignore the 4K intro competition and say that this year we don't have a 64K intro competition. Now, three people have talked to me and said three very different things. Number one, 64K intro is less important than it used to be because 4K is where everything's happening now, so the next category was demo. And I kind of disagreed with them. The next one said 64K was cancelled basically because of internal senior politics and crap, which we don't want to deal with, but unfortunately led to, because one person pulled out, another person pulled out, and so on. And the third person basically said the 64K is what got them into the demo scene in the first place, because they thought it was so cool, and it is a crying shame that there isn't a 64K Assembly. Now, it's not Assembly's fault by any means, but what do you think it's like not having a 64K at Assembly?
Well, it's a shame because usually the 64K intro in Assembly has been very good quality.
Yeah.
But well, in my opinion, the problem with 64K intros is that because they are so high quality that it's for beginners or let's say not professional level. It's very hard to go and put your entry to big mainstream competition.
Sure.
So it's much easier to just put up a 4K intro and release it than 64K intro.
Anything to add?
Kind of disagree. What the problem we have now is with 4K is that there are plenty of coders who are like they're capable of doing 6K or 7Ks but not 4Ks, and today they're missing out on a platform to release their stuff. So so no 64K. Yeah, it's a shame, but there is now a big gap just above the 4K level, which does not get to show its productions, because of course if they put these in a 64K competition, they will be blown away by the room for all the other effects, and in 4K they can compete because they end up with 5.2K. Well, that or our packers have become too good.
I just think it's going to be very, very interesting in the future. Next year at Assembly, at Assembly Summer. I mean, you are obviously a revision and Sunrise, I must say, Sunrise
Yes,
organiser.
indeed.
Yes.
The
Sunrise,
sun will rise.
Luton, 9th to 11th of September 2011. Come, you'll enjoy yourselves. It's the only UK party. sunrisedemoparty.co.uk. Is that enough of a plug?
Shameless plug.
Yes. Shameless plug.
Yes.
As a shameless person I am.
You can get there by Eurostar as well.
Yes, you buy Eurostar and buy EasyJet straight to Luton Airport. Very good.
Yeah, but not from Brussels. I have to take the train.
Not from Brussels, no. You have to go from Brussels Midi.
I'll bring waffles.
Oh.
Very good. So the one thing I will say before we pack up and go to the final demo compo, which is due in about 4 or 5 minutes, if somebody is wanting to come and contribute to Assembly and quite likes the idea of producing something and is going for the demo compo, which is always oversubscribed, they always get 40 entries and they have to cut them down to 20, apart from a couple of years, which I'm sure you guys will tell me about. But if they want to have a go, is 64K the thing to aim for if they think they've got talent? Or should they just aim at... What I'm trying to say is we've seen so many demos that are one-trick ponies. They show one effect, they go on for way too long, and they don't concentrate enough on the art and the direction, which we've seen come... I mean, ever since Farbrausch's Debris, where direction has been the key to demos. Is that where we're going with demo scene? Or
I hope not.
I hope they will.
No, because this will leave away the coder porn.
Okay.
I don't personally. I don't give up
Well,
about the coded porn. I like the artistical view that if you can produce something good quality and something coherent, I think it's the best way. But of course, I like coder porn because I'm a coder, so it's not bad. But I still prefer the artistic view more.
Sure.
Okay, I'll very quickly this. So if you have your...
We've got about a minute, so...
Okay. So take your demo, instead of the music, in MP3, do it in a soft synth,
Yep.
and take out everything which is not 100% ready, put it together, you have a nice 64K.
Super.
Yeah.
I've asked you that question because I both know you've got opposing views. That's very good. Right, that's about it from the 4K Intro Compo Studio. We're going to hand over now to the demo compo. We absolutely love demos here at Assembly. I think I can say it for everybody that this is going to be one hell of a demo compo. Please grab a drink, go sit down if you're in the hall, and just enjoy yourself, because this is the highlight of Assembly Summer 2011. I'm Matthew Walster. We've got Waffle and Frankie.
Yeah.
See you in about 45 to an hour.
Go for the